Hello, welcome back to episode 6, take 3. I recorded last night and it was way too blurry. I tried to play around with the autofocus, and this time the wool was in focus but I was out of focus, and I didn't want to leave that up there. And also I think even mentioned there were some issues with editing where bits were repeated and then it just cuts off, so I thought delete it, start again. So I recorded about 40 minutes ago. Now, about 2 minutes in, I heard a click and didn't think anything of it. And I didn't really want to get up during the podcast and go and check, and I wish I had. Memory card was full after 2 minutes, and I sat for 40 minutes talking to no one, because you guys weren't there. Okay, so let's get started. I'll look at my show notes just to remind me. So I'm David, and I'm from Dundee in Scotland. I am an indie dyer, not long started out, and it's doing quite well. I'm quite impressed, and it's all thanks to you guys, because it's you guys that are buying the wool. You can find me on Ravelry as This Boy Knits. There is a group with a couple of threads in it. Feel free to join the group and comment away. You can find me as This Boy on Etsy, where my shop is. On there I'll sell wool and craft project bags that I make. And on Instagram you can find me, if you search for This Boy or David Rakes, you should find me either way. And I'll put the links in the box down below. So third time lucky. Grr arg. So what have I been up to in the last week? I met up with Eva. Eva Christier from Eva Christier Hand Knits is a fellow podcaster. She's from Perth, which is 16 miles west of Dundee, so very close. And she's just she's the nicest person. She comes across exactly like she is on the podcast. She's genuine and has such a kind and a nice heart and a pure soul. And I was so touched when she brought me presents. So what she brought me, now obviously she'd been watching the podcast and obviously pays attention, so she brought me this owl book, which is so cute, and you'll be glad to see it's being used. I've started a shawl, which I'll show you shortly, and these are my notes for it so far. She also brought me some yarn. So this is Gong Crafts. It's a botanically hand-dyed yarn. The product name is Angel Wings. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% silk, so you can imagine how it feels. And the colourway is Dappled Light. It's very me. It's kind of a muted grey to a greenish hue. And it's been dyed using flats. And it's so cool. And it's going into my shawl straight away, or as soon as I get to that section. It's only a small section it'll use, so I'll probably do a shawl or something out of what's left, like a shawlette. And I've left the buttons next door. I'll pop a picture in somewhere. Here, and here. And they're the cutest. It's 4 little buttons with owls on them, and they're so cute. And I think I've got something in my head like a cowl with the 4 buttons running on an angle. But I want to plan it. I don't want to just put them on any old project because they're too special for that. She has very kindly taken on board some of This Boy yarn and is including in her kits. So her kits include a pattern that she designs and the yarn for the project that you'd be knitting. Very good idea. Patterns look amazing. In the next episode I'll give you details on how you can get your hands on these. So yeah, she's going to be showing off my yarn. She does a lot of craft fairs, which is an area I haven't gotten into yet. So to be able to show off the wool to those types of artisans will be amazing. Because at the moment I'm only online and it's only to the viewers basically that know about it. I just about rolled over to 150, as I mentioned earlier, subscribers, and that is owed to mostly 2 podcasters. They are Eric from Sticks Plus Twine, hi Eric, and Die Another Day girls, Amanda and Christina. They were so generous, all three of them, with their comments and telling you to go and check me out, which you have, and you've told me where you've come from for the most part, so it's amazing. I didn't think I'd even get 10 subscribers, so to get to 150, and it's increasing every day. I wake up in the morning and there's like another 10 subscribers. Amanda purchased Bronze Goddess. As I was saying, that's selling out like mad. I can't dye it quick enough, and I've just had to put another order in, so you'll be glad to hear there's lots more coming. I tend to dye like 10 skeins or something of one colourway and put that on the shop, and I know a lot of people like to dye to order, or order to dye? Dye to order. Anyway, where they don't have the yarn made yet, dyed yet, but when someone orders it they'll dye it up. And I may get there eventually, but I still have the enjoyment of dyeing, so I just like to batch dye. And it also means they're relatively similar enough, because it's very difficult to recreate colourways, especially the Bronze Goddess, because it's done in the pot. Just the actual, you can place the dye in all the same places, but it's going to take slightly differently each time, and sometimes one colour will leach into the water and impart its colour onto other sections quicker, whereas the next time it might not. So I like to batch dye, just make sure it's similar enough. So there's no shop update as such. My father-in-law was taken into hospital. He's fractured his tibia. He's okay and he's home, but we're having to help him out a bit, because my mother-in-law is doesn't keep that well either. So we're just helping out them both. So I shall move on to works in progress. Works in progress. I started a shawl. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen my cakes of yarn. So what I'm using at the moment is hedgehog fibres. It's a skinny single, and the colourway is ink. It's 4-ply, and it's beautiful. It's so variable in its tones of the blue ink that's so dark and so light, and it knits up really nice. It's a superwash merino. It's 100% merino, and it's beautiful. And then the second colour so far is one of mine. It's Avalon Steel, which you'll recognise. It's the first time I'm using it in a large project. It knits up really nice. The fibre is super soft and it's got a nice structure, and well, I'm biased, but the dye job's lovely. The colour just integrates really well. So this is the work so far. So it's a striped shawl, and it has 5 colours in total. So the gong craft is going to be the edging. It has an I-cord border all the way around. I'm going to use Frozen Dancing Mermaid, being renamed the Oncoming Storm, but that'll be for the next dye lot of it. This is going to be a bluish colour, which is in like a quarter of the shawl, and then it calls for like a bright colour. So in the pattern, it calls this is Stephen West wave-like pattern. I should have said that. It calls for. He uses red, and it looks really cool. So I'm just showing the image. I'm not showing anything of the pattern. So the black on here is my navy. The white is Avalon Steel. The blue down this side is the Frozen Dancing Mermaid, and it's this red colour I'm not sure about. I like red and I would do it quite happily. Give me your comments, but I was thinking of maybe doing it in the chartreuse green. Excuse my pathetic attempt at drawing, it's not easy with the left hand. So let me know what you think. So that's what I've got so far of the shawl. And I just want to quickly mention this app I'm using on the iPad. It's called Notability, Notability, and I used it at uni primarily for documents. But what it basically is, I'll show you a free pattern, spearmint tea shawl. So So if you have a tablet, and I don't know if it's available on other devices, it was free, it should still be free. It allows you to edit and draw and make marks. So you can see here I've got highlighter like that. I can highlight, and then you can draw, so you can see where I have marked down what I've been working on, and you can save it. So it will remain the same until you go back in. You can clean it all with the eraser and have a fresh document, or you can save it like I've done with the changes. So if you are a single sock knitter, then if you've made any alterations, or you think, oh no, I've just knitted an extra 5 rows, mark it down, and then the next sock will be there. And instead of having reams of paper everywhere, it's all on the iPad. So I recommend it. Everyone's got their own way, and this works for me. So that's the shawl. I've recorded twice now a whole segment on needles that were quite long, so I'm just going to cut it down. Another work in progress is Tunisian crochet. This was designed for the bed. I almost ran out of the wool for it. It's an acrylic wool, but it's for the bed. I have a dog and it goes in the washing machine, or it will be. I've run out of wool, so it's going to be a bed runner. It's massive, and it's so easy to do because of the Tunisian crochet. It's that wide now, so that length, so it's going to be a runner for the bed. I may look into getting some different colours and maybe doing like 3 different colours on it. I'll see. I wanted a grey one. And that leads me on to the Tunisian crochet hook I'm using. So like this, it just looks like a regular crochet hook. This is a Knit Pro, which is the UK version of Knit Picks, and it's interchangeable, and it's on a long cable because you need to accommodate lots of stitches, and it just has a stopper on the end. This works really well. So this leads me on to my needles and what I use. So I have my little interchangeable needle case, which for the most part keeps everything in order. It's got lots of little sections and little pockets. Another pocket down here. And when I first started knitting, it was pony. This is a cable needle, and it's this same kind of grey material, and it's metal, and they work fine. They're cheap and cheerful. And then I discovered the joys of Knit Pro interchangeables. So my favourite ones and my go-to ones are the Novas, which are a nickel brass material. They're nice and slick, but their stitches don't fall off very easily, but there's not much resistance. I hate resistance, that's why I don't knit on wooden needles primarily. It comes in a range of sizes like that, and they all fit on the same cable. They all have the same thread system and at the same size, which means they'll go on any cable. They offer other materials. So these are Knit Pro Symphonies, and they're a very beautiful rainbow colour. These are my go-to these are my go-to hat needles. I tend to find that that's almost the right dimension, and it's got they're little stubby ones so that they don't take up as much length. So if you're working on a smaller circumference, the smaller the needle, the shorter the needle, the better. And they also do carbons, which I have a couple of sets of. I will only use this carbons if I'm working with a very slick wool that glides okay, because the carbon bit offers a bit too much resistance for my liking. Lots of people like carbons, and some people don't like the Novas, they find them too slippy. I'll put these away. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I've got a condition called Behçet's disease, and it gives me rheumatoid arthritis in my joints, and my hands sometimes get affected. And I discovered that if I used cubics, and I had a little set sitting here not 2 minutes ago. Cubics are cubed in shape, funnily enough. Are cubed in shape, and I just find when my hands are sore I get better grip on them. These are my go-to sock needles for 2 at a time. They've got flat edge, easy to grip to, the cord is really nice, it's very flexible, and the join is very smooth, which is why I like them as well. I bought the Symphonies, the fixed circular Symphony Knit Pros, but they're a bit too grippy. I tried doing socks on them and just went straight back to my cubics. I mean, they're good to look at, and I'm sure they're fine for knitting flat, not in the round. So I'll see, I'm looking forward to trying these out properly. And I also use little 9-inch circular needles. So these were my socks I knitted at Christmas, well, sock I knitted at Christmas. It's a simple 3x1 rib, so it's nice and stretchy because I don't like socks that fall down, which caused me a problem which I'll tell you in a moment. That's the sock. It's got a very cute heel, which was completely coincidental, it wasn't deliberate. But the heel, the base of the heel went red with a stripe. So these are the 9-inch circulars. A lot of people say they're difficult to use, and I know what they mean. My hands hurt for a while trying to use them, but as soon as the muscle memory kicked in, it was fine. And because there's no adjustment of the needles, they just fly off, and they're really nice to use. I knit both styles, because of my hands getting sore. It means I can just switch back and forward. It's taken me a while, but my tension got there eventually. Sorry, I've got a slip stitch here. My tension corrected eventually to the stage where I can now knit both ways, and it's seamless. You can't tell. You wouldn't know. Purl one. I'm a flicker in the UK style. In the English style of knitting. So yeah, it helps being able to switch. So we're on to finished products. I only have one, and if you've watched me on Instagram, or follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen them. So this is one of them. It's in rusty ferret wool. I've been knitting on them since day one, and they're eventually finished. This is a homemade sock blocker, because I knit so little socks that it doesn't seem worthwhile buying a pair. I did have two, but one of them got squished, so I just blocked them one at a time. These are the ones that are going to have the sticky material. It's where it dries solid, well, it dries spongy-ish. It's like slipper socks, it's the same stuff. I don't want the person receiving these to be slipping about and hurting themselves on their laminate flooring. I was saying about an issue with socks that fall down. Well, I decided in my silly wisdom that when I got to doing the rib, I decreased a couple of stitches at either side, and knit two together, or slip stitch knit, and it reduced the volume of the cuff, because I wanted the cuff to be a little tighter to keep the sock up. So I cast off in a normal casting off fashion, nothing fancy, went to put the sock on and couldn't get it over my foot. So I had to undo the cast off, which on a 2x2 rib isn't easy. I dropped a couple of stitches and had to get them up again. And I had left a fairly long tail, probably similar to that, but with using the extra stitches and the stretchy bind off, I ran out before I finished and I had to tie on another bit of wool, but hey ho, they're done, they go over the foot, and they're very nice. So that's the finished objects. So this podcast was originally about 40 minutes. I've condensed it down because 3 times to do this is enough, and if it's gone wrong, I've not wasted another 40 minutes. As I say, there's no shop update. I'm on annual leave this week, and I plan on dyeing a shed load of wool, especially when the next order arrives, hopefully today or tomorrow. And I'll be sewing a lot. So I've made a couple of bags. I have booked time with Dave. Yes, confusing, I know. My other half is Dave and I'm David. But we've got used to it after 16 years. I've booked time for him to film me, because I've tried setting the camera up at an angle that you could see what I was doing, but there was too much moving about and it just wasn't working, the focus thing. So if I've got a cameraman, he can focus for me, and I promise you the bag tutorial will go up for the Peekaboo bag, and there will be an accompanying PDF which will be free. It will be on the Etsy shop, and I'm sure I can make it free in there. You just go and download it. I don't know how it works. It'll go to your email or something. I'm working out the kinks. The test knitting is almost live. I'm just proofreading the patterns. There will be a scarf, a shawl, a hat and fingerless mitts, all in the same style. I've got a few people lined up, but if you're interested, please join anytime. Go over to the Ravelry group and there's a thread for test knitters required. So just go there and check it out. My yarn swift isn't working properly. It's a wooden one that I got very generously as a gift for Christmas just past, and the bit that you screw to attach to the table, the inner threads have gone, so it won't tighten properly. You tighten so far and then just unscrews itself again. So rescaling is going to be a bit challenging. I think I'll just have to bite the bullet and order a new one. I may contact the seller and let them know, but I don't think I'll order another wooden one. At least with plastic, you've got a bit more, less likely for the threads to, I don't know what they've done, kind of grind off or something. The niddy noddy's fine as well, so that's working. So it's just getting the wool into skein onto the niddy noddy for rescanning. I was set up yesterday rescanning. I had it on the table with the ball winder, so I was winding away. But I had my foot up holding the, because it has got some grip, but eventually it just falls off. So I was using my foot to kind of keep the base of the yarn swift on the table. So it was a very tiring arm and a very tired leg. And then Dave came in and he just held the swift and I was able to wind it that way. So yeah, there'll be shop updates through the week, so keep your eye out for that. I'm having a little dye session with a friend tonight. She's coming over. She's very interested in seeing how it works, and I'll give her a gift as one of the skeins that she dyes. I want to do a BFF skein, so I'll take pictures if I remember, and we'll see what that looks like, and I'll probably just give her that to take away. Oh, competition! Now, I think there was a little confusion last time, when I said if you want to enter the competition, only do so if you're willing to pay the postage, because I've done a couple now and it's coming out of my pocket, but I mean, I'm getting sales through the promotion and people are checking out the shop, but it wasn't to do with any other sales. There was a couple of comments about changing, well, there was a comment about including the price of postage in with the cost of the wool, so it would look like free postage. I'm not sure why that would be an issue, but I'll look into it. Thank you for the comment, and it's not a criticism, I'm just not sure how that works. And then someone else mentioned, of course buyers should be paying the postage. Buyers have always paid the postage, there was no issue with that. It was purely the giveaway. So I'm not sure, I apologise if I've miscommunicated that. There's definitely no issues with people paying postage for wool they've bought. Excuse the hair today, it's a bit mad. I did this in a hurry when I realised that the podcast I put up was a bit rubbish, quite a lot of rubbish. For once it focused on the wool, it just didn't focus on me. So I've deleted that, it's just gone, and this will be the replacement episode 6.3. So the competition I'm doing this time, since we're almost at 150, and that's a bit of a landmark for me, so thank you, is going to be for the oncoming Storm colourway. So it's a multi-staged entry system. What you have to do is be subscribed on YouTube and be part of the This Boy group on Ravelry. All you have to do is, I'll open a thread now, in about 5 minutes time, I'll open a thread for competition. So again, only enter the competition if you're happy enough to pay the postage. If you're in America and Canada, it's £5, 10p. I'm not sure what that translates to in dollars. Iceland was £4, 10p. So I need to adjust that on Etsy because I didn't know. I'm new and I don't know postage costs. Yeah, so go in there and just say hello and you're willing to enter the competition. So that's it for now. Fingers crossed this is okay, fingers crossed this isn't fuzzy. And thanks for watching. If you're new, thanks for sticking through. If you are returning, thank you so much for returning. It means a lot, it really does. And I will continue as long as people are giving me the feedback, because I love doing this. It's very therapeutic, just like the knitting. So yeah, I shall see you next time. Bye.